What up, YouTube? Today, kind of a sad day. I finally have to replace my old Harbor Freight 5-drawer toolbox. Let's get started. It's a good day, YouTube. We got a new toolbox for the van. Let's get started. It's not too often you see this much space in the back of the van. I had my brother help me get the toolbox out. Reason for getting a new one is, as you guys can see, well, maybe you can, maybe not from that angle, but that bad boy is pretty deformed on the top. The weld for the door, or the lid, I guess, broke off long ago. The lock is busted out because it stopped working, and I think I even got another one for it at some point, and that aftermarket one or whatever broke at some point. And the drawers are just quite simply falling off of their slides or their tracks or whatever. And so I got, this is the bottom drawer here, and then this one is sort of halfway collapsed on top of that on the left side, and then this one right above it is collapsed on the left side, meaning the left track is no longer connected. So I got drawers falling on each other kind of like that, and it looks terrible, and also it's a huge pain in the ass trying to open and close my drawers. Also, I've been kind of wanting to go through this stuff for a little while and kind of reorganize things. As you can see, when you're driving around, things get a little unorganized and moved around and whatnot. And one of the worst things that happens is this stuff right here. Totally thrashed. That's just broken and done for. And unfortunately, over the years, it's just something I've come to accept, that these socket trays are just simply going to break over time. But thankfully, it's only about 10 bucks for a new box. And as you can see, got that one right there ready to go. Metric, of course, that's pretty much all I carry. All my standard stuff's in the garage for the Lincoln. So I won't bore you with the entire process of doing this, but thought it'd be a pretty cool post for the YouTube channel to go ahead and give you guys an update on the work van toolbox, since my very first video on that is actually my highest viewed video ever. It's got like 15,000 views or something like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up. We got gray this time. I guess you can see it from this side, but it was real difficult to pick this thing up from Harbor Freight. I called like 5 different ones in the area. None of them had it. They told me to call back in a couple days when they get a new truck. Still had to call several stores. This is the only one that they had. And so I wanted to get an orange one, because apparently you can get that one for like 200. And orange is my favorite color, but I also like black and dark gray and stuff, kind of a neutral color. I plan on getting a new van before long, hopefully. And so, gray should match with just about any color of vehicle I get. And obviously it doesn't matter if your toolbox matches your vehicle, but it's kind of cool when it does anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this bad boy open, and then we'll get the tools swapped over. All right, so we finally got her lifted up and put in there. Got a lid again, so that's pretty nice. It's been a while since I've had a lid on it. We got the shocks installed, and then I went ahead and put these little brackets on all 4 corners that come with it, because this thing is real wobbly in here, because obviously I'm driving around as a mobile mechanic. So definitely want to reinforce it as much as I can, because all that wobbling around and hitting bumps and all of that kind of stuff is the reason why this one fell apart ultimately. But I got this only about 2 years before I became a mobile mechanic, and I worked in the shop for those couple years, and then ever since then it's been inside the vehicle as a mobile mechanic toolbox. And so I must say that, considering the fact that these are not meant to be used inside of a vehicle, it lasted quite a long time. And I would venture to guess that if I kept it on its stand or its legs for its whole life, it probably would have lasted even longer than 10 years. So anyway, now that I've got the base toolbox put in and everything installed on it that needs to be installed, I'm going to go ahead and start swapping over my tools. Alright, well, I got the bottom drawer swapped over. Looks a little bit more organized. Got my 3/8 and 1/4 inch torque wrench. Got my CV axle pickle forks, my manual crank window puller tool. I got all of my little pry bars except my huge one. I keep that on the side. I got my 2-jaw puller, my drill, pitman arm puller, and a ball joint puller, and breaker bar. And then of course drill bits, Torx sockets, and Allen sockets. So now I'm going to move on to the wrench drawer. Okay, so now we got the wrench drawer done. I decided to put my small stubby wrenches in here instead of under my bolts. I just kind of like them in the wrench drawer better. But I may not have room for my big hammer in here anymore. But I might be able to make some room for it down here. We'll have to see. But we're good on the next drawer. Decided to skip up a drawer and go ahead and do the plier drawer. This one can only get so organized because I have so much different kinds of pliers in here. But that one's good to go. I also keep my little stubby screwdrivers in here too because I'll never know where they are otherwise. And this one's my junk drawer basically. And then the last one is mostly brake stuff. And this is the drawer that really screws stuff up too, because if you put anything in here that's got brake fluid on it, like from the Mighty Vac kit for the brake bleeding, that fluid, even though you clean it out real good, somehow there's still a little bit of brake fluid in there, and it gets all over everything. And as you guys can see, the paint is totally gone from this drawer, at least for the most part. It looks terrible. So I'm going to have to clean all that stuff up really, really good before I put it in the drawer again. So anyway, I got to do the brakes drawer and then basically my random stuff drawer here, as well as the top, and we'll be all finished up. Man, that socket tray is majorly busted. Look at that. Working on the top now. We're getting there. Alright, finally got the top done pretty much. Oop, got all of my sockets and stuff in there. My driver, electric ratchet, extensions, regular ratchets, screwdrivers, specialty sockets like Torx and E-Torx and Allen, my magnets, all that good stuff. Pair of gloves, pair of safety glasses I'll probably never wear. So now we got 2 drawers left. Almost done. Alright, we pretty much got the junk drawer, not the drunk drawer. Got that all finished up, and this still looks like a mess, but I can tell you it's a hell of a lot more organized than it was. And unfortunately, with how much stuff moves around in here, I don't expect this organization to last long. But I must say, it's really nice. Toolbox has no stains on it. It's not damaged. It's got a freaking lid again, a lock again. And that's a huge thing, too. I mean, I've been driving around with no lid or lock on my stuff for a long time. I mean, not trying to give nobody any ideas, but if you're doing a mobile mechanic job, it's best to keep your stuff secure. That's all I'm going to say about that. So we're going to go ahead and load this stuff in after I clean it off really well, and we will be all finished up. I left my pen lights out of the junk drawer because they all, of course, need batteries. I think one of them's rechargeable and the other ones need AAAs or something like that. Finally done with the last drawer. I just kind of wiped everything down and threw it in there halfway decent. So, just to recap, we got our screwdrivers, sockets, extensions, ratchets, driver, electric ratchet, extra batteries, axle nut socket, O2 sensor and spark plug sockets, specialty sockets, a bearing packer, and that's everything in the top pretty much. Can't forget my good old snap-on pry bar punch. Then we got our pliers drawer here. We got our random stuff drunk drawer. And of course we have our brake stuff, the wrench and hammers drawer, and then of course the bigger, heavier stuff that won't fit anywhere else: torque wrench, pry bars, other sockets, drill bits, pullers, etc. Finally got a new toolbox after 10 years. It's gonna be nice for sure. US General, baby. Got the jack put back in. Looks like a proper setup again. Now I'm gonna have to charge both of these lights because they've been on for quite a while. Locked up. That's something I haven't been able to do for a really long time. And that's going to be the end of the video for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. It actually took about 2.5 hours to swap that toolbox over. A lot more work than I expected, but I'm definitely glad to have one of those, and hopefully this one lasts another 10 years. Otherwise, please like the video and leave a comment below on when you got a new toolbox and how awesome it was. Also, we're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of 2024, so if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, I will see you next time.
Subscribe!